What's up guys, hello and welcome back again to my channel, and welcome to the unboxing video of the Live Gamer ULTRA 2.1, and this is the GC553G2, and the one before this is the Live Gamer ULTRA GC553, which you can see right here. So we're going to do a quick run through of the Live Gamer ULTRA 2.1, the technical specs, and as you can see, this is what we have. We're going to go all the way down to the tech specs. And this is your quick setup guide. So here we are on the specs screen, and you can see on the interface side, we have the USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C, 10 gigabit per second. And then we have our pass-through HDMI 2.1. And yes, guys, you need to take note that for you to get the ultra high resolutions and high refresh rates, you need to have HDMI 2.1. Our maximum pass-through resolutions, we have 4K at 144, we have QHD at 240, and we have Full HD at 360, all supporting HDR and VRR. Also, to expand further on the pass-through resolutions that are supported, which are not listed on this website right now, we have the ultra-wide QHD at 120 and QHD at 240 and 1080p at 360. All of these are added later with a firmware update. If you already have the device with you right now, this update is already available, so you should just go into your AVerMedia Gaming utility software and do the update accordingly. All right, so we are moving on to the maximum capture resolution, which is 4K 60, and our supported resolutions that you see right here is a 4K, QHD, we have Full HD, we have HD, then 576 and 480 respectively. Your video format, the usual with HDR, and we have the headset audio, gamepad audio, and that's everything we need to know about the specs. Now here you have the system requirements and what's in the box, and so this is all we need to know about the AVerMedia Live Gamer ULTRA 2.1 external capture card. So I would like to say this, in my opinion, is currently like the best external capture card you can get in the market. This was just released, I think a couple of weeks back. So without wasting too much time, let's get right to the unboxing of this. Get rid of the sleeve. So this is really nice that they have a quick start guide printed right on the inner cover. And this right here is the capture card itself. So you have your USB Type-C 3.2 output port, HDMI out, HDMI in. This is plugged into your controller. These are two 3.5mm TRRS, that's 4-pole. These are inbuilt jacks for your headphone and the PS5 controller or your Xbox. So that's all we have on the rear of the capture card. Nothing much else, and we're gonna set this aside. And what else do we have? So right here is the Type-C male-to-male cable supporting 3.2 Gen 2. And right here is our 4-pole 3.5mm cable. And this is the HDMI 2.1 cable, which we will be using to connect to my monitor. So what else do we have here? And the user manual or quick start guide. Okay, so here we are. This is everything that's in the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch the AVerMedia Gaming Utility software, where we're going to do the initial setup and check for software or firmware updates. And once that is done, we're gonna go over to OBS, where I'll show you how to set this up with your gaming console. Okay, so here we are. This is the AVerMedia Gaming Utility. This is what you want to come to after you have finally set up the AVerMedia capture card with whatever device you want to use it with. In my own case, and this is always going to be my own primary use case, I'm using the external capture card with my PS5 for streaming, and it's going to be what I'll be using for capturing my gameplay sessions through OBS. So, but first, this is what I'm launching so I can do a quick run through all the settings and features that we have here. Also, this is my very first time using this application right now. So what I'm seeing here is the current information. It says I have a 1080p 60 frames standard dynamic range. And if we go down, we have our device audio settings. So currently my device audio is coming from my HDMI. So right now I've set up my capture card with my PS5 and I connected it to my gaming monitor. Though the maximum resolution my gaming monitor can do is 1080p, and it actually runs at up to 165 Hz. So, but I don't need up to that. Anyway, moving on. So here I like the fact that I can actually mute the HDMI input volume, and I can actually control how loud or low I want it to go. And also when this is the very good thing is this AVerMedia capture card has input for headphones and microphone. So right now it doesn't detect anything, so I can't use any of the sliders because I don't have anything connected to it right now, and I won't be doing so because this is just a quick run through of the setup of this capture card. So also, if we come down here, let's see, this is for the high definition or high bandwidth content protection feature. So this is coming from the PS4, PS5. So whatever device you connect it to, you can just come in, select accordingly. So yes, this, you have to disable HDCP. I mean, of course, always. Anyway, so this is it. And we're gonna move on to RGB control. Okay, so up next is the lighting control. This is where we get to control the RGB lights on the external capture card. So this says we can use a third-party light control software. I'm not really sure what that is or where I can get that, but since I am able to, set my RGB lights here anyway, so I'm perfectly fine with this. So we can go through the options, whether you want it to be static, breathing, rainbow breath, blinking cycle, rainbow starry night, so, and a host of other nice options. Just feel free to customize the RGB to your heart's content, or you can decide to turn it completely off. So, but I'm going to just leave it on and breathing. So moving on. So I'm going to just come to the setting. I think that's the last item on this. So we check for updates. It says the firmware is up to date. Well, okay, so we'll move on, and we'll come here, hardware information. Let's check for updates. There's a newer version available. Yes. So let's see what this is doing. So the installation actually closes the gaming utility, and it says firmware update is done. Also, there's a newer version. We recommend updating to the latest version. So I'm gonna actually switch to desktop mode. And once this is done, I'm gonna have to launch the AVerMedia Gaming utility again because it closed out the moment I clicked on update. So that's what's going on now. Okay, as you can see here, and we have the current version 1.0.5.5, and I'm gonna have to unplug the capture card from my PC and reconnect, and then I'm gonna launch the gaming utility again and see what we have there. All right, so here we are again. So I'm gonna do a quick run through the menus again, and on this tab, nothing changed. All right, and I'm gonna go into, so RGB controls, nothing changed. I'm gonna come into the settings once more. We check for this update. It says no update required. The firmware is up to date. And this is for the external capture card. Firmware is up to date. So, and now we're gonna come into the HDMI compatibility setting. I really don't know what this does, but let's see. So now we are here on the HDMI settings screen, and I'm going to just hover on this. So this says the maximum resolution supported by each HDMI version. All right, so we're gonna come here and drop this down and see. So currently mine is set to 144 Hertz, but I can change it to whatever I want. But I don't think I need to do anything here because the gaming monitor I'm using supports maximum of 165 Hertz. So this will be completely fine. And the PS5 can send out maximum of 120 Hertz depending on the game. So coming down here, we can see that in the drop down is just the HDMI. I mean, of course, that is what we connected through. And we can see the list of extended resolutions right here. I don't know, maybe this only allows maximum of 4, but I think all of this is actually very fine. And on this right side, we have the ultra wide QHD. And of course, I would understand why it's not on the left side because I don't have any connected monitor supporting this resolution. So maybe at some point in the future, if I have a monitor that supports ultra wide QHD, I'm gonna just come here and swap out one of them with this. So this is just all what we have on the HDMI compatibility settings screen. So we're going to just move on. And one more thing that I have to talk about, this app has a little bit of a resolution scaling issue because in the earlier ones I was recording, this bottom part where you have apply and cancel was cut off on my screen. I couldn't even get to it, and I can't even move this option screen around at all for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're gonna fix this. However, I found a workaround for this, so I was able to solve the scaling problem. If you also are experiencing the same issue, what you want to just do is make sure you have a shortcut of this application, place it on your desktop, then right click on it and select properties, and then you have this. Then you come to the compatibility tab and you go down to change high DPI settings. So you really don't need to do any of this. Just come down to high DPI scaling override and check this box, and this drop down, stay on system. All right, then click OK. But I don't need to do so right now because I've already done it. So once you do that, the system is going to actually override and scale this application properly. So you'll be able to see everything like this. All right, so we're done with this part. Let's just proceed with the rest. So we're done here, and I'm going to go on ahead to show you the display features on the OBS and how I'm going to capture or stream at whatever resolutions are available. So let's go on to OBS. All right, here we are at the OBS scene where we're going to check the output video coming from the PS5. And let's see how the rendering looks like. So without wasting too much time, let's get right to it. So right here, if you already set up your scene like I have, what you're going to do next is you're going to just come here and right click on the empty space and you go with add and you select video capture device. You can rename this to anything you like, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to just leave this as is. I don't need to rename. Then also I'm going to have to uncheck make source visible, okay? Because if I leave this checked, by the time I click OK, the video is going to pop up somewhere on this screen and overlay this right here. So I don't want that. But if you're setting it up for yourself, you're going to want to make sure you check this. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And this is going to come up. So right here, I'm going to select my capture card, which is the Live Gamer ULTRA 2.1. Okay, then the video should pop up shortly. This is it right here. Okay, and what I'm gonna do next, hold on, let me just get rid of this red. Okay, so configure video, I really don't need to do this. I usually do this sometimes when my output video in my gameplay recording, if it's not looking too good, I come here, adjust, but I don't need to do this right now. It's not even necessary. So you can always, if you want to adjust your color, you can always do that with filters in your sources. So, okay, so moving on, we are going to, I usually will just check this so that anytime I switch scenes, the video is not working in the background. This will also help me save my CPU resources. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to resolution and FPS type. So I'm going to go with custom, okay? So as you can see here, you can see that this capture card supports up to 4K resolution, which means that everything checks out. So right now I'm going to go with 1440p because the PC I'm using, the maximum resolution is 1440p, and my base canvas resolution on OBS is also going to match that. So there's no point going for 4K or anything higher than 2560 by 1440, all right? Then next thing we're going to do is output FPS. So for this section, as we covered earlier, the maximum capture frame rate and resolution for this capture card is 4K 60 frames per second. So we're going to just stick with 60 frames per second. Okay, video format, color space, so depending on what you want, adjust accordingly. All right, color range, I don't need to do anything with that. And now I often select this. I use custom audio device. This enables me to capture the game audio exclusively, all right, without having system audio interfering with your gameplay recording or streaming. But if you really don't mind having system audio with your gameplay recording, you can always just leave this unchecked and click OK and go back to OBS. So once you check use custom audio device, you're going to want to select whatever audio device you're using. In my case, I'm going to select the Live Gamer ULTRA 2.1 and I'm going to click OK. So that's it. And after all of this is done, you can enjoy your stream or your gameplay recording in the best quality possible. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to just go ahead and come here and reveal this video source so that we can see it. So now you can see what is going on. Now we have a video on OBS. Also bear in mind that whatever you're seeing here, you're not going to be seeing the full highest frame effect because I am capturing this entire video in 30 frames per second. So the last thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing the high frame rate pass-through of this external capture card. So to start with this, we're going to go into the PS5 video settings to select high frame rate. We're going to come into the PS5 video settings and set our resolution and refresh rates. So we're going to come down here. Please bear in mind that PS5 will only make this option available depending on what it detects from your monitor. All right. So if you pop this open, select auto and you'll be fine. Auto low latency mode, my monitor doesn't support it and it doesn't support HDR. So we don't need to do anything here. So once we're done with all these settings, we're going to come to the video output signal to actually check what the PS5 is sending out. So as we can see, we have 1080p at 120 Hz. Also bear in mind that you're not going to see 120 Hz if you're not playing any game. If your PS5 is only just on the dashboard and not doing anything, what you're going to see here is going to be 60 Hz. And for you to see this right now, you have to be playing a game that actually supports 120 Hz. So for the purpose of this video, I'm already running Spider-Man, which is a game that actually supports 120 Hz. All right. So, and I'm going to show you how you can actually get this to work. So if you're done setting your refresh rate in the PS5 video settings, it's not going to work right away. You have to be playing a game that actually supports 120 Hz, and it's inside the game's settings that you're going to activate that. So when we just come here, so we're going to come into the settings and we'll scroll down. As you can see, I already set my graphics mode to performance, and 120 Hz display mode is set to auto. You can lock it on 120 Hz, so auto is the only option you have. And like I said earlier, you have to be playing a game that actually supports 120 Hz display mode. Even if you set your PS5 video settings to 120 Hz mode, it's not going to automatically put everything to 120 Hz unless you're playing a game that actually supports 120 Hz, and you have to come into the settings to actually activate 120 Hz mode. So I think we are done with this part, and I'm going to take you back to the AVerMedia Gaming Utility application screen to actually show you how the capture card actually switches between 120 Hz and 60 Hz, depending on what the source device is sending to it at any given point in time. So let's go back. So as you can see right here, the current information right now is showing 1080p at 120 Hz. Okay, standard dynamic range, because I can activate the HDR settings in the PS5 because I don't have a monitor that supports HDR. So if you do any of those, this capture card is going to adjust itself accordingly. Also, take note that whatever you see here as your current information is what the source device is sending to the capture card at any given point in time. So if I were to quit the game I'm playing on the PS5 right now, you're going to see that this is going to change to 60 Hz. So 1 second, I'm going to do this. So I just closed the game, and you're going to see that the capture card is going to change to 60 Hz, meaning that the PS5 has gone back to dashboard mode, and it's not going to be sending out 120 frames per second in dashboard mode anyways. So I guess I have covered everything that you need to know about this external capture card. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button on this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put it in the comment section below. I'll be reading. Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will so much appreciate it. So that's it for now, guys. I'll catch you in another video next time. I'm out. Peace.